You are now listening to Candid Discussions, live on Ripped Radio. Candid Discussions serves you up with the best place to be to discuss love, dating, relationships, and all the obstacles that come with them. Kick back and listen to Candy and Unrestricted D on Candid Discussions.
All right. Hey.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Candid Discussion with myself, Candy Ellerby, and
Unrestricted D.
oh, that's your name today?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's always my name.
All right. Sometimes it's unconditional, so.
No. That's Tuesdays.
Okay. So if you don't know, Candid Discussion is an online radio show where we get together every Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. and we discuss adult relationship topics and things like that. And dating, love, relationships, all those things that couples, singles like to talk about.
Good and bad.
Good and bad. Definitely the good and bad.
Definitely.
And tonight is about the bad, so.
Is it? Is it really a bad thing?
Coming from you, you probably think it's a good thing. But we do have a panel of females here, so you're going to be outnumbered. So you're going to find out real quick that it is a bad thing. So tonight we will be talking about ghosted, and we have two guests that will be here. And they will provide their perspective on ghosting and what it is and how it has affected them and things like that.
So, I'm not going to lie. I was kind of lost when we came up with the topic of ghosting because I've never heard of ghosting before. And some of my Facebook friends asked me the same thing, like, what is ghosting?
Okay.
So exactly what is ghosting before we introduce our guests?
Ghosting is the breaking of a relationship, often intimate type of relationship, and it is just by ceasing of communication. You just stop talking to the person, you just disappear, and the person doesn't see you anymore. That's pretty much what ghosting is.
So are you telling me that, for one, you have to be intimate with them, or not really?
It's often an intimate relationship, but it doesn't have to be. It's basically you in some type of relationship with someone, whether you're dating them, courting them, hanging out, kicking it with them, and you just disappear off the scene. No explanation, no nothing. They text you one day, hey, boo, what's up? You want to hang out? And then there's no response, and there's nothing. Blocked, phone blocked, everything. That's just dead. The communication between you two is just deaded.
So pretty much I get their interest and then cut it off out of nowhere, huh?
Pretty much. That
All right.
that is the explanation of it.
All right, so now that we talked about the topic for tonight, this evening we have two gorgeous and courageous women that decided to come on and tell us their experiences of ghosting. Our first guest, Ms. Lauren. Lauren is a Washington, D.C. native. She's the mother of two beautiful children, and she is currently studying medicine and aspiring to be an entrepreneur. Our second guest this evening is Elisa. Elisa was born and raised in the DMV. She is the mother of one. Whenever she is not being a super mom, she is a freelance writer and entrepreneur. And this one hit home to me. She is a basketball mom.
12 months a year.
She is a basketball mom.
Jesus, take the wheel.
She's the best. All right, ladies, thank you for coming to Candid Discussion.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's do it. All right. Oh, twist that. Is it tighten or loosen? Oh, boy. All right. So, you want me to start off or you want to start
You
off?
can start off. You better at everything than I am.
Better? No.
Probably even better at ghosting, but go ahead.
No, I don't. I just learned about ghosting. I never ghosted.
Just because you just learned the term doesn't mean you weren't already ghosting people.
That's what I'm going to ask these ladies.
Go ahead.
First thing I got to ask, have you ladies, I don't know if I should start off with the positive or negative, but I think it's both negative. Have you ladies ever ghosted someone?
Yeah.
Lauren, have you?
I have.
Elisa?
Yep.
Alarm.
Talk to the mic.
I absolutely
You
have.
can pull it up.
Yes, I have.
All right, so look,
A moment for me.
I'm going to go from my left to my right. Lauren, so what made you, first of all, are you a serial ghoster?
don't know. I've been told I was, but I don't think I am.
Have you done it more than twice?
Okay, yes, okay, sorry, yes.
Okay. So, give us one experience that you probably turned the guy on and then just disappeared on him.
Well, a recent one, actually. God. Okay. Not close enough to the mic. A recent one was, it was a younger person. He was younger than me. And
How much younger? Some years?
Say what?
Some years? Or years?
It was close to 10 years.
You said 10?
Yeah.
That's years and years.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
years.
that's years.
That's I know it's terrible, right?
That's a whole decade.
Well, see, when I met him, though, he lied. He said he was 30, and he really wasn't when I found out. So that
Go ahead, Stella. Go ahead, get that
Don't do
groove out.
So, I mean, basically, the reason why I disappeared on him was because I felt like I was communicating and telling him what I was uncomfortable with, telling him that I was kind of going through some personal things, and he was being really inconsiderate. So I just got over the fact of explaining it. Like, you know, kind of when you're going through stressful stuff in your life, you're just like, I ain't got time for this. Like, I'm too grown for this. You're doing too much. And if you're not hearing me, I'm good. And it was like right after I felt kind of bad because he did like kind of say how much he felt about me. And then it was like right before Valentine's Day. So I was like, you know.
Oh, this was last week recent.
Yeah, I said it was recent.
So do you feel as though it was genuine? How he said he felt about you?
Yay and nay. I felt like I was a crutch for his past situation that he never got over, and I didn't really want anything serious. When I talked to him originally, we both agreed that we were just having fun, like it was nothing serious. And then all of a sudden, it's like, "Ooh, I'm in love," and I'm like, "Ooh, wait, like,
So
back it up."
is this strictly online, or just is it online and
No, I
actual
met him.
person?
I knew him. Like we knew each other. We went out. We dated for about a month and a half.
Okay, so is that still considered ghosting?
If he just disappeared, or
Yeah,
if she just disappeared with no explanation and no contact, yes, that's
Yeah, I
ghosting.
stopped all contact. I just completely cut it off. Cause
Okay, see, again, I thought maybe it was just an online thing
No, definitely not just
or
online.
a texting thing or something.
No,
like that.
ghosting means that you are intimate or non-intimate. You can't be intimate just online. I don't think so. But you have to be in some type of virtual or physical relationship with the person. Even if it's not boyfriend, girlfriend, some type of relationship,
I say more
and you just stop.
situationship.
Or situationship.
All
or
right,
fuck
Lisa.
relationship.
Okay, Elisa.
So I'm not proud, but I have ghosted people. Intimate relationships.
Oh,
She said
you said
people.
I
Damn.
have.
she's
She is-
very honest about it.
Wow.
Intimate relationships and non-intimate relationships, but I do it for a different reason.
Are you okay and comfortable
I'll
talking
tell
about
you.
them? Okay, let's
I
go.
get emotionally
Give
overwhelmed.
me one, because we're going to recap on some other stuff, but give me one that you feel as though made you ghost them.
I get emotionally overwhelmed, kind of like what Lauren said. Like, I'm okay when things are, emotionally easy. Let's just kick it, let's just not rush into things. Let's just be, I have a 16-year-old, so I don't want to necessarily jump into things and then people overwhelm me emotionally. So I just, for my sanity, have to walk away from them. It's probably a really bad excuse, but it's an emotional thing for me. Like, I just have a hard time dealing with people emotionally sometimes.
So,
It's whack.
as the
It
only
is.
man in the room that's on the mic, I'm going to say this. So either we show you all attention or we thirsty.
But you also, I'm sorry, you have just generalized all females. Each female require a different type of
Right.
interaction.
Right.
Just because you're thirsty to one girl doesn't mean you're thirsty to the next.
No.
If that girl don't like it, she don't like it. It's not all females that feel that way.
I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is either perceived being thirsty or showing genuine interest in you.
Right.
What
but
you just told me, and correct me if I'm wrong, if a guy showed you too much attention or maybe not in the direction that you want it to be, you are turned off and you are ready to ghost him, correct?
No.
No?
If it's a mutual, if we have mutually decided, and I've dated men and women, if we've mutually decided that we're moving toward that place, then great. If we did not make that decision and you decide that we're moving toward that place and we have a conversation about it and it's less of you listening to me and more of you telling me that this is what I should want,
Pretty much. There it is.
you know, and it's not even just intimate relationships. I have my best friend in the whole world. I disappear on her. Like, she overwhelms me sometimes. And we fight about it. But, you know, people try to impose what they have going on you. And it's just too much for me sometimes. So it's not about a thirst. It's just about, you know, let's be on the same page in this relationship. And let's move at the same pace.
Okay.
That's what it is for me. And it sounds like that's what it was for Lauren. Like,
Yeah, she's like pretty
You
much.
want to piggyback on that?
I mean, because
the
it's
little
not
sisterhood, y'all moment right now.
yeah, we
it's
have
not
it
always a
on.
bad
Such a
thing
hater.
though, and we can get back on that when you flip the switch on being ghosted, because sometimes you could avoid situations. You know, sometimes, and I've learned over time that dating and getting older, you kind of like just not say don't question things that happen, but everything does happen for a reason, and you have to kind of trust that process. But like she said, it is mostly if I feel like I'm talking to a brick wall, you clearly this is a whole one-sided situation, and that is a key issue to you. Okay, bye.
But
Like,
it's
I'm
a terrible
done.
thing to do.
Yeah.
To just disappear with no. It's terrible. I'm in therapy, like working through it. It's not a good thing. I'm learning how to be more responsive emotionally, but sometimes it's just. I think it's just necessary. I don't want to explain why I don't want to talk to you anymore. I just don't want to. Not everybody.
Two different pages on that.
Not everybody. Not everybody. Some people.
It's kind of like manners in a sense.
You're
It's kinda
right,
like-
but if
depends.
we've already had the conversation,
Yeah.
and we're not, you know, she said talking to a brick wall.
And some guys, they think they were too independent, or they're like, "Oh, you acting like a dude. Like, what is wrong with you?" Where's your emotion?"
I'm one of them guys because I just so happen to got engaged to a wall. But
Should I congratulate you or no?
No, you congratulate me.
Oh, congratulations.
For the most
Thank
part.
you.
Congratulations,
For the most part.
Congratulations.
But it's something that we both kind of have to work out per se. Like, again, I can't. Like, I understand you women saying that you can't. I can't force my self on you as far as look. I want your attention here and there, and you ain't really got the attention because your kids and stuff like that. But I think I do have the consideration of you, or you know what, he's actually getting to know me or trying to get to know me versus him trying to
So some men,
get to know me.
some men can be clingy, just like females can be clingy, and you feel as though you need to ghost them. And some men can be a little volatile
And abusive.
and abusive. So sometimes you do have to ghost those type of men.
So
Especially when
abuse,
they
are we
guilt
talking
trip
about
you.
verbally or are we talking about
Both,
physically?
either way,
or
either way.
emotionally.
Yes.
Some people are just abusive. Like
Like the guy I was dealing with, he used to guilt trip me a lot. Like, and I think we have two different versions of being ghosted, because like in her sense, like, I suck at this mic thing, right? Okay, so
I don't know if you want to use those two words right now, but I'm going to let you go.
it's like from what I'm catching, she more so has an emotional defect to it, where if it's too much going on, she's just done. Whereas me, not saying it's not an emotional issue, it's just more so I saw a lot of things in that situation and I address them. I always address situations first, and I feel like after I address it, ball's in your court. And if you still want to act like we ain't dealing with this, then I'm like, okay, I done already told you how I felt. And with this particular person, his situation reminded me of my ex-husband. It reminded me of when I first got married. It was literally, his background was exactly the same. And then he had just left his baby mother, you know what I'm saying? So it was just a lot going on. I felt like he needed to work on him a little bit more, and I didn't want to be part of that. But I was cool for the ride, and we were just chilling and having fun, and then all the extra around it. And then he got extra attached. Like, he started calling me every second of the day, literally, like he just wanted to listen to me breathe. And I'm like, bruh, like, wait, like, I gotta work, I got other stuff, I got kids, I gotta do stuff, and then he'd get mad if I didn't answer a text or a call, and then start flipping out on me. Then he would hit me with guilt trips and stuff to make me feel bad. So I was like, you're doing too much. Like, you can't play these mind games on me. I done already been through that. I'm 32. Like, I done already lived through some of this stuff, So that's why I had to just let him go. And some of my situations are like that. It's kind of like, I'm seeing there's an issue. I told you there's an issue, and you're just not hearing me. So clearly I'm in this alone, and you're in this alone type thing.
Hold on.
And then I feel like you get to a certain age and people try to manipulate you emotionally. I'm almost 37. And I get a lot of, well, why you not married? You know, I'm pushing 40. Okay. People think that because I'm 37 and I'm not married, I'm desperate.
That you want to settle. Yeah, like that's.
And,
no.
you know, I have married parents. My parents have been married my whole life. They're awesome. I don't aspire to marriage. I'm not against it. You know, I would definitely do it. But don't come at me like, well, you 37, it's time for you to settle down anyway. What? You know,
So
I've
are you
gotten
talking about people that you're dating, or are you talking about
situations where I've dated people who feel like, you know, we need to take this seriously because we getting old.
Okay,
Basically, yeah.
All right, so I gotta ask you ladies this.
Yes.
You know, y'all gonna hate me, but y'all probably gonna talk to me after the show. So is this a form of a being committed problem?
No,
No?
not at all.
No, definitely not.
I don't have an issue being committed. I would like to be committed, but for the right person. I don't want to settle, and I'm okay with not settling.
Okay.
I'm not desperate.
It's definitely not
to
a commitment issue for me.
What about you?
I've only ghosted maybe one person, but if I did ghost someone or even break up with someone, it's not because I have feared being committed. I knew that person wasn't right for me.
And that comes with age too. Learning your red flags and not trying to make excuses for them.
Okay,
So-
but even with that, I mean, I still think there's a proper protocol mannerism
There is.
that you can use.
It's terrible.
Before you just cut people off. Like, I've never just cut anybody off. Me personally, I let them cut me off.
But even if you
I
told
let
them
them
like
come in.
over and over again, like
I
this is
believe
not
you,
working,
too.
and they're telling you, nah, it is working. Like my dude was like, low key, you my girlfriend, you just don't know about it. And I'm like, nah, nigga.
But I would think that would be kind of cute, though.
That's
Kind
not
of sexy.
cute.
Well,
kinda
that is
like-
not cute.
Hold on. If he is a good catch, now if he's not something, you know, worth catching, then I understand. But
I
if
saw a
he
lot of
jive a
red flags.
decent dude and he jive, you know, trying to do something with himself or his life.
He wasn't a bad person. I just saw red flags for me.
Yeah.
And some people don't want to accept that. Some people don't want to accept where you're like, you know what, you cool, but I just don't see this working for us. And they just want to force the fact that it can work. And I'm like, nah, you can't force it. So
And you might not have ghosted a situation, but you have deaded a situation and allowed the person to break up with you.
Right. If I'm just gonna let them leave me,
You might not
I
have
could neither
ghosted
confirm
them.
or deny the
Exactly. You
accusation
might
that
not.
they make towards me.
You might not have ghosted them, but you let them break up with you because you were done with them instead of just breaking up with them. So that's probably just as bad as ghosting someone.
Well, let's say this, okay?
that is
'Cause you probably
emotionally
ghosted
I
damaging.
don't
them
want to get away from the
emotionally.
subject. I don't think I ever ghosted anyone, but I also don't give up on, if I'm really feeling them as a person, don't get me wrong, I don't ever give up on a situation, per se. And yes, that may be a problem because that in turns lead people on and stuff like that. But I'm big on manners. So I just can't just be like, block, delete. No, I don't respond to you. Even if like, hey, how you doing? Hi.
You make it sound so bad.
I mean, but it is
I
bad.
personally think it's unacceptable. I can't imagine what it feels like to be into a person and then all of a sudden they just stop talking to you.
Right.
It's got to be really, really heartbreaking.
I mean, I've been on the other side.
But
too.
we're not gonna talk about the other side right now. But me personally, it's like, okay, it's not like, but it's like being in love or have strong interest in someone, and then they just disappear, and it's not like, well, I've been talking to her for 6 or 7 months, and where did she go? Me, I feel like it's a form of catfishing.
How?
How?
If I'm talking to you and you display, and I'm not saying ghosting is good or bad, but if I'm talking to you and you display some shit that I'm just not rocking with, and I just cut you off and stop talking to you, it just happens.
But what could someone possibly say that make you not rock with them to just cut them off? Besides something, disrespecting you.
You spend too much time driving back and forth to basketball games. You know, is your son going to college to play basketball? And I say, I don't think so. He just really likes to play basketball. Well, I don't think you should be driving him back and forth to all these games if it's not going to lead to a scholarship.
You come in
Those
between
guys that's hating
kids
right
and
now, they're
parents.
losers because they can't play basketball.
That's a whole
what they
nother
are.
So what you saying? She
Situation.
should ghost them.
Yeah.
You know, now you see, you also
I
said
agree.
months down the line too. Now I'm talking about maybe the first, you
Yeah.
know, 4 to 6 weeks you
Yeah.
figure it out.
4
But
to
if
6
you-
weeks. I gotta reel you in. I gotta give you that attention. I gotta tell you what I need to tell you, just to keep you interested in me. That's for males and females, honestly.
I've ghosted
I
after a
agree.
couple years.
Whoa,
Shit.
Now that's deep. Now that might have scarred
I,
somebody.
I might not have ghosted people in intimate relationships, but I do ghost people in just friends. I do ghost them.
When you say friends, you mean like friendships or
Yeah, I
like
will ghost the whole friendship.
I gotta
And
go.
don't
male
have a
and
problem.
female? Like you
Both.
just mean like general friendship,
Both.
like
Friendship,
hey, let's
not
go hang out.
sexual.
I actually
or
have
that's what I'm saying.
attachment
Just
issues.
a
let's hang
general
out.
friendship. I have ghosted
I have
people
to. And I could
on a
absolutely love
consistent
them.
basis. I will do it.
So we can say friendship ghosting, relationship ghosting.
It's the same thing. It's the same hurt. You know what I mean? It's a relationship is a relationship. And I have definitely ghosted friends. And I feel like the people who are close to me now know that I get quiet every now and then. But
It's the more they just accept it. Like
right, it's just who I
are.
am. But I've done it to people. It's not good. But
I'm gonna put y'all in class. You two.
Why?
She would ghost in a minute too.
I mean, I don't feel as though one part of the reason why I end up ghosting people is if it feels as though I'm the only one who's maintaining the relationship. If I'm the only one texting saying, hey, what's up? You want to hang out? And you never text me back. I mean, not text me back, but you never initiate us
right.
doing anything together. I really get tired of that. And I just will ghost you.
Because everything should not be work. I raise a son, that's work. I run a business, that's work. I take care of my parents, that's work. Everything should not be work. Everything should not, at some point, something in my life needs to just be. And if I have to work too hard at it, that is emotionally overwhelming. I'm out.
You're scaring me, Elisa. But I like what you're saying though. You're saying some real shit. I mean,
and
real
I
talk.
wanted to
You really
come onto the show
Okay, so we're allowed to
because
Yeah.
nobody talks about this from a realistic perspective. People talk about how much it sucks to ghost people or to be ghosted, but nobody really talks about the why. People deal with anxiety and depression and a whole bunch of issues that you don't even know they deal with. So sometimes when people drop off the face of the earth, it's not because you're a bad person or they are. It could be something else. It could be anything else.
I agree. People do go through things, and you know, some people don't want people around when they actually go through them.
I
So,
get depressed and I don't want to talk to anybody.
Yeah,
You
my
know?
misery doesn't like company. I
Yeah.
don't want to go clubbing or nothing. I just like to
Nothing.
chill in my room and figure it out.
With my cat. I will
that's
be
why
a
I
whole
like
cat lady.
All right, so look,
Lord.
we're gonna take a quick music break. We will be back with Candid Discussion each and every Wednesday from. Look, you just took your headphones. You don't know what I said.
From 6 to
5
7. I can hear you.
What?
From 6 to 7.
Is it 6 or 7?
6 p.m.
Oh,
to
time
7
flies by
p.m.
when I'm around you, baby.
Lord have mercy.
All right, we'll be
Then
right
right
back
after
with
show,
Candid
he gonna
Discussion.
ghost me.
Back to Candid Discussion each and every Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. here live on RipRadioNetwork.com. That's right, RipRadioNetwork.com.
Yes.
If you have been ghosted or have ghosted someone, feel free to call in 301-232-5700. Once again, that number is 301-232-5700. And tonight's guest is Lauren and Elisa, and they have been spilling their guts about them ghosting people. And I am off break. We had a very interesting discussion, and it made me look at things a little bit different. Viewers, just for the hindsight, these two share the exact same birthday,
Yes. Yes. That
You
makes
know.
us awesome.
Yes.
which makes the conversation even a little bit more in depth with each other. But the only two sane people is on this side of the room.
No, she ghosts people.
Well, she's still sane because she's not the same as y'all.
Virgos are not sane people.
Well, that's true, but she's sane right now because she's on my side of the room. But
And
what
the
I
worst
will say,
relationship I ever had was with a Capricorn.
and that was the
Ever.
best that you ever had.
Capricorns are very interesting.
I
but
tried-
That's a
Yes.
whole nother topic.
That's more. I'm a Capricorn.
You
I'm
guys are
here
very
to get
affectionate,
mannish.
but you do feel like y'all wrote like the Bible and the encyclopedia. My dad's a Capricorn.
And
He
he's
swears
a lovely
he knows
guy.
all. But
First of all,
I respect my father. He's great. He
not to get off topic, but I'm going to say this: we end and we begin the year. Enough said. All right, so let's go back to the topic.
And y'all also here during winter time when nobody wants to be around.
Ain't nobody coming to your birthday party.
Yes, they are.
Cold outside.
Yes, they
Our
are.
birthday party, people get it popping because it's warm.
No, they're not. They're on cruises.
We're gonna have a whole
We
show
on
about
cruises.
this. Our next show, we're gonna talk about this.
Maybe, maybe not.
Okay.
All right. So on the break, we talked about being ghosted. Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, Lauren is the only one who has admitted openly of being ghosted. I think maybe me and you kind of not sure if we have been. Candy, you ever think you've been ghosted?
No, I've never been.
Oh,
ghosted.
of course not.
Well,
But,
that's what we were discussing. I was asking him which one should we talk about. I guess they're both
so you've been ghosted more than once,
twice, technically twice, yeah.
twice.
And one was a good reason.
Okay, so let's talk about one of the twice.
Okay, so the first one was a few years back, and that's what we were just discussing. So apparently, a lot of people know about the situation.
Hold on, is that the one I just walked in on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, let's not talk about that one.
Okay.
Don't talk about that
Yeah,
one.
because we don't have lawyers for the show,
I wasn't saying nobody's name.
and I don't want to be,
No, everybody probably knows about that.
Yes,
So
yes, I don't
I mean, that's
feel
my
comfortable.
personal-
with
Okay,
that.
that's cool. All right, we won't say that.
Let's bring up another one where you fellas know you've been ghosted.
Well, let's just say if that situation, sometimes it's okay. I'll say that.
Yeah.
To be ghosted?
That one
That
situation, yeah, she
situation
should be happy
I
she got
dodged a
ghosted.
bullet.
But we can't talk about this situation because the people don't know about the situation. Only us in the room talk
Okay,
about
I'm
the situation.
sorry.
So let's talk about a situation that we can let the people know.
Okay, so I met an older guy, and
How much older than you?
40.
10 years?
Maybe 13.
Okay, 13 years older.
I lied. Wait, I had to get my.
Was he a
back.
sugar daddy?
No,
Could have been potential.
No, I really wasn't looking for that. I actually was looking for a relationship, and he was a really cool guy. He was 47.
Okay.
You know, and
Around Candy's age.
And
Really?
Dude,
Don't come for me.
Oh.
I'm not part of this situation.
yeah, I just got to sip my coffee.
I'm not done to walk away. No, but and he had recently been out of jail for a couple of years. So he did like about 15 years.
Woo.
So I know those double digits, you're like, woo. But he was this
Shit.
really sweet guy, you know, as I was like, well, listen, it didn't work anyway.
So he probably got locked up with what?
in
30?
his early 30s. Mhm.
See, at that point, you know better. I can't.
Yeah.
But he was sweet though. Go ahead. Tell us about this sweet guy.
And how he ghosted you for prison.
It's kind of crazy because honestly, at first I thought that something bad had happened because again there was an age difference, and we were talking for about a good month and a half, and literally just talked to him that day. He was supposed to come over that night for dinner. I was getting ready to cook and everything, and then nothing, like just nothing. And so, like, first I was like, okay, well, let me wait because he did take a long day at work. He was tired. So I called him like a couple hours later, like, hey, you good? Nothing. Then I texted the next morning, you good? Nothing. And then I was just like, okay, so either you're hurt or arrested, or I didn't really know what to think, you know, what's going on. So I waited a few days and I tried to hit him up again, and again, nothing. But however, we were both on each other's IMO. Because, like, you know, if you have, I have an iPhone, but he had Android, so people do, like, IMO and stuff to, like, FaceTime. And it's been active. It was active, like, that day. So I'm like, all right, so you clearly breathing, you know? So I don't know what I did, what I said. Maybe he found out about one of my other people. I don't know, you know? Something could have happened along the way, or he just decided it was good. And it's been almost a month now, and I haven't talked to him.
So have y'all
Shit.
been out and stuff like that?
Yeah,
as well?
we went out. We've been on dates and everything. He was looking for a relationship. Like, he was looking to get married. So, I don't know. Maybe it was somebody else. I don't know.
So have you ever been to his place?
Have you been back here past it
Like, to go past
No,
there.
don't do that.
since you got ghosted?
You stalked
Nah.
him? Yeah, you did. Come on.
I was also going through another situation. So that's why I was,
Oh, see, look at that. Look at that. Look at
listen,
that.
don't judge me. Okay? I'm just saying, I was trying to filter some stuff, but that was the top candidate. And it kind of shocked me that happened. So, it could have been karma. Who knows?
So do you feel like
It could have
was,
been a wife.
Yeah, true.
Well,
Yeah.
he lived with his cousin and
Who his wife?
No, well, because you could tell. Like you could tell when a guy has a bachelor pad and when he's hiding stuff.
That's not true.
No,
That
it's
don't
not.
mean
That's not
Definitely
true.
not.
Well,
That's not
Definitely
true.
I know. I have a male friend or ex-male friend who I ghosted. It's like, but I have an old male friend who took a girl to a house that was not his and told her that this was his house. It really was his homeboy house or his cousin house. So it looked like a whole bachelor pad, but it wasn't even his house.
Yeah.
He had a whole situation with another woman that he was living with.
And men will go to, I mean,
Trust me, I know.
lengths
I done been through some
to
things.
hide
I
wives.
know that they can. Well, it didn't.
Hold
seem
on,
like
we're not
He
gonna do that
did-
now.
Okay, sorry.
He
So-
did it like his room looked like you could tell he just got out of prison. Like the way everything was set up and in order and where it was at, you could just. I didn't see.
I mean,
any
was it an
indication.
apartment? Was it
an apartment.
a house?
And I feel like you take trauma with you from prison. You know, like I don't think you can ever not have that trauma attached to you anymore. So I'm happy that he stopped talking to you.
I mean,
But he was sweet.
I don't care.
not. You know, he said sweet. I feel like he said he was sweet. Like,
I didn't say that. Hold on, was he? No, I didn't
he
never say that.
wasn't.
Now,
No,
you
he
know.
was a very masculine guy. Dressed well, cleaned well. He was cleaned up good. I mean, maybe he had some issues, and maybe I don't know if
Maybe he
I said
got locked
anything that
back up.
triggered something in the midst of one of our conversations, like getting to know
He
each
just
other.
got locked back up. Locked back up though.
Can you still have phones in lockup? I don't know how
Yes.
this
Yeah.
works nowadays.
Oh, yes.
But
get
a
phones.
lot of times though, I mean, when you get locked up, somebody might have your code. Check my phone, whatever case may be, too.
It could have been. I honestly don't know, and I didn't care to ask because I was also again going through some stuff. So I was just like, whatever. I guess.
So
it
were you
is.
hurt, upset,
I was just about to
bitter?
ask her that. Did
I
it bother you?
wasn't hurt. I was shocked because I thought that things were going well, and I was already kind of taking a risk because of all the other things that were going on around it. But again, because I started going through my own personal stuff at that time, I just like chalked it up, you know, because I've been through this a lot. I'm okay with rejection. It doesn't faze me much. So it's like it is or ain't, you know, it is whatever. I'm very transparent in situations. Like I put it all on the
Virgo.
table.
You're such a Virgo.
Like, look, listen, this is what it is. Either we're going to do it or we not. And I keep it moving. So that's just how I am.
Okay. So you said you've never been ghosted?
You know, this is going to sound so bad, but I've never been married. I've been engaged 3 times. So being single for such a long time, I'm sure I probably have. It just doesn't stand out. But I'm sure I probably have. And if I was ghosted, I probably deserved it. So it's
How about
fine.
you, Unrestricted? Have you ever been ghosted?
I don't know. If not really cut off and not hear from them again, but it kind of like start distancing themselves from me. One of the situations that I can honestly remember was, well, 2. One was emotional and one was something else. But
Do tell.
Like, what's the something?
Yeah, you didn't made it. You didn't spoke about it.
one was emotional and one was sexually. But the emotional one, you know, she felt like she was falling for me, but I wasn't falling for her. And then sexually, it was like she felt like I was going to be bad for her later down the line.
Right. It's
I
understandable.
can believe that.
So it wasn't like it was a negative thing, I guess, but they didn't like really cut it short, like block me, not have no type of contact with me whatsoever.
I think it's difficult being in your 30s and older because this is the social media age, but we are not the social media generation.
Correct, I agree.
So, you know, I have a 16-year-old and his entire life, the internet, you know, the internet came about in our formative years. I think I was like 11 or 12. So we have to play by different rules, even though we're not from the generation that, I think ghosting is kind of more of a virtual thing because people now get close to people and maintain relationships through social media. So it's like kind of like you're older, you have to play by different rules, but these are not the rules that we grew up under. So like when you say you feel like it's just a lack of manners, yeah, nobody has manners anymore. You know,
I agree.
that's a dying art, the art of being considerate, having manners for people. So we're older people with an older mindset, but we're trying to, I think, live in the present, which means it's a whole lot of young shit that we don't get.
Especially with the texting era.
Not that we don't get it, but this is not how we do things.
Yeah.
Because we, you know, you see what I'm saying?
Kind of, but
No, I agree
I
with
do.
you.
I think people being ghosted on social media is a big thing, or even through dating apps. But I also believe that probably back in the 80s, it was just a different way of ghosting.
Oh, absolutely.
It was probably more so, I'm gonna go hang out over my homeboy's crib and his crew this weekend, and I'm gonna go ahead and go over there a few times and date this one girl, and then afterwards I don't come back.
So that's what.
That's why you think.
That's how they talk in the
Yeah.
'80s.
Yeah. So why you think in the 80s and the 90s, a lot of people don't know who their baby daddies are, or can't find them because they got ghosted.
Yeah, and without a cell phone, now we can track people. We can go
That's
to
what I'm saying.
links.
It's easier to track
now,
people now.
but you know we ain't had that back then. So I think social media ghosting is awful,
Yeah.
and because you are contacting somebody who is posting on social media, you are not dead. Your phone is in your hand. You know, like the rules are just different.
I actually, if I have to be ghosted, I'd rather it had been just a social media relationship than an actual.
First, you actually got to meet and
Yeah.
understand. The
Well, do you
person.
have significant social media relationships?
I don't have significant relationships.
See, I've never met people that I met in person. Like one guy I just met for the first time over the summer, and we've been friends for 15 years over social media. And we went to New York, and he lives in New York, and he happened to come to dinner with me and my mom. But I've had significant relationships over social media. So I think ghosting on social media really hurts, because it's one thing if you ghost me and we just don't talk no more. It's something different if you ghost me and you're talking to everybody except me. You know what I mean? So I think it would hurt a lot more to
like
be
you
ghosted.
still follow the person or something?
Or if you, I mean, how many times you unfollow somebody and then went back and see what they was doing? You ever do that? I've done that.
I only do that to him.
Facts. That is true. But I agree with you. It is once. Well, I mean, once you block, but then it's sometimes you go through different methods to see, you know, how
Depends
such
on
and
who-
such
I guess
doing.
if it's somebody you were like intimate with and you just like, what the heck you doing? Like, what's going on?
But
That's
I-
different. But if it's like a random person,
I mean, but
block you,
intimate
block.
or that you may have, you know, kind of job dig. I mean, you know, felt them or some type.
So
I probably would have in my 20s. But again, like I said, this whole dating experience that I've had, because you have to understand, I was married really young. I had been with my ex-husband from 17 to 27, you know, so that's all I knew. And when I first got in the dating game, it was kind of like, I was wide open, like, oh, okay, someone's going to be nice. And as you know, there's still cotton candy and cupcakes out here. And then I got a real reality check, you know what I'm saying? And so my mindset has been screwed up over the years. So now I'm just like, whatever. The skin that I've built, it's just different. I don't react the same way. So it depends on the person, honestly.
So, Lauren, would you ghost somebody, like, knowing what you know? Would you do it again?
I cannot lie and say it won't happen again. I'm not purposely trying to make it happen again, but that depends on the person. This is a case-by-case scenario.
All right, so let me ask you ladies. Oh, sorry, go
go
ahead.
ahead, you got it.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, since you've both been ghosted or have ghosted someone, were there signs to show that you were about to be ghosted?
I had no signs. I feel like I'm considerate. See, I have conversations first before I do something crazy. So for me, nothing. I didn't have any signs.
Maybe the frequency of conversation changes. You know how you first get into a person and y'all talk all the time, and then all of a sudden now maybe we don't text as often, or we don't see each other as much, or I don't get those good morning texts anymore. I think the signs are there, but sometimes we just are oblivious to them.
Maybe I had a sign.
Your son was, this man spent 15 years in jail.
Go ahead.
Dang, I forgot what I was going to say.
Really?
I did.
Oh, you just ghosted
Ladies
yourself.
first. I did. I did.
But
Well, thank you.
I think it's a bad thing. Ghosting for me, enough people confronted me about it for me to know that it was a defect on my part. And it's something that I have been working to improve.
So question is, do you feel like it's a defect?
Yes. I think it's extremely emotionally irresponsible to do that to a person.
So
I love the fact that she admits to that.
Yeah,
I'm
I get it.
self-aware, if nothing else. I may be a piece of shit, but I know it.
You're not a piece of shit. Maybe a little turd, but
you sugar honey iced tea.
This the only conversation you've ever had with me. It's a lot. So I may not be a piece of shit with this, but
Don't
I mean,
worry.
I feel like I got my stuff with me. But I mean, I know it. I just think that it's something that you should just not do. Because I believe in karma. I think it comes back. So
I agree. I definitely agree. Karma is a bitch.
no, she's not. She's a lovely lady.
No,
If
I'm
you-
sorry.
if you write
My
to
niece's
her-
name is Karma. She's definitely so Karma is not a bitch.
She's funny.
So what would you do? Being that you have ghosted someone, what would you do if you just happened to run into that person? I just want to know, what would you do?
I'm a hide.
The person I ghosted,
Yeah.
I'll speak. I would speak. Because I don't feel like I'm a shady person. You know, and again, like I said, sometimes I'm oblivious to certain things. So even if I did it and probably didn't purposely mean to do it, you know, I did it in the best interest of me and in my mind, the best interest of both parties. You know, I didn't do it to purposely hurt anybody, but I would speak. Now, would they speak? I don't know.
Why
They might
speak?
still
But
be
why
salty.
speak though?
I mean, because I'm
You
not
just-
rude. I'm not going to walk down. If I see Candy and I ghost to Candy, I'm like, hey, girl, okay.
No, don't,
But
I'll
my
say
thing
hi.
is this:
Don't
if you
say hi to me
ghosted
now.
them, what's the difference? I mean, why acknowledge them now? If they reached out to you and you ignored them,
I've never been the nervous type person to be like, oh no, someone's in the room that we don't rock with or whatever. And I'm not about to get out of my character. Like, I'm just like, hi. You either gonna say hi or you're not. Like, that's what I'm saying. I'm very straightforward, so I
But-
can't really. I don't know how
but
to.
if y'all if you stop communicating with them
Okay.
and you speak, like, what's the purpose? You stop communicating at one level, while on another level, acknowledge
I
it.
didn't say I had a conversation. I'm just saying hi and keep it walking.
I would be offended.
Yes,
Like,
that's what I'm saying. I would like.
Don't speak to me now. But
Who
that's
the fuck
how,
you
that,
talk to? That's what I'd be like.
That
like,
would be.
oh.
That's just me.
Okay, so here, that's probably, now that you guys are all saying that might be my personality flaw. I tend to, once the situation's over, I forget about the situation. So I'd be like, we on a whole new day. Like, what's wrong
I
with
can
you?
understand that
Why
part.
we
You're
still
the
having
only
fun?
Virgo I know like that. Y'all usually hold grudges forever, forever and ever.
Again, probably not right up here right now. Had you caught me before all this stuff?
I wouldn't speak.
I wouldn't speak either.
I wouldn't. Because it's emotional for me. And if I ghosted you, it was because there was something I didn't want to say. Often for me, I don't want to talk about. It's something I don't want to address. So if I see you and I've ghosted you, I really don't want to talk now because you might ask me why, and then nah, I'm good.
Well, see, I guess that's where we have the difference. Because remember, I have not technically just cut anybody off without explanation. Like, I feel like I gave the explanation and they were just oblivious to the situation and chose not to listen. And then I just had to cut you off because you just weren't paying attention. Right. So that's why in my mind, I'm like, well, I already got it out. You already know what the problem was. So what else we got to talk about?
If me and you friends and you ghost me, don't talk to me no more. If you see me out, just keep walking.
Even though we got to wrap up, but that's kind of unfair for you to say because you said you ghosted your
And
friends.
I wouldn't talk to them. You know, like people. Okay, my friends, my close friends, just know that this is me. But if I ghosted a person who was my friend and I saw them out, I would not speak to them. That's rude as hell. Rude for me. Why would I walk up to you and
So-
say, hey girl, and I done ghosted you?
So real quick, we got to wrap it up. So are you saying associates you wouldn't speak to or your friends that you wouldn't speak to? Because there's a difference. We all got associates. Now, friends, now if you don't speak to me and I'm supposed to be your friend, it's tough.
If I ghosted you, am I your friend?
She's saying that her friends now know that, you know, her personality is,
Okay,
I
so
like to
if I
back
know
off
you,
of time. That's not her ghosting.
So if I say
them.
Elisa, she zones out here and there, okay?
Yeah, that's what she's saying.
And I know that about you. I'm gonna be okay with that.
Yes.
But if I see your little butt out and you don't speak to me,
Yeah,
I'm
that would be
really
different.
gonna have a problem
Yeah.
then.
But it's a different. What I'm saying is,
She didn't ghost her friend.
right. Let's say
talking about-
I'm dating a guy or a girl, and I stop speaking. I ghost them. Why would I speak to them after? I would feel like that would be so disrespectful.
But we got to wrap
We
up.
might
But what
gotta
if
do a
they
ghosting
spoke
too.
to you? You wouldn't say hi back?
I would say hi back.
Oh, but you wouldn't.
But I
you
wouldn't initiate the conversation.
Okay.
All right.
That's a whole different thing.
So look, we like to thank y'all for
Yes,
coming on
thank
here.
you. Thank
It's
you.
not rushing y'all off, but we
Great.
only got an
Thank
hour. I
you.
tried to get Candy to do 2 hours, but she didn't want to do it. So
You should
look,
do 2 hours. Y'all are good.
thank you, Lauren,
Really be
Elisa.
here
Thank
having
y'all for
debates.
coming on Candid Discussion. Do you have any final thoughts, Candy?
I got partial final thoughts.
All right, come on, let's go.
Okay, so basically, that if you ever considering ghosting someone, despite what we said on the show, I would recommend that you find a good way of cutting things off with them. Some people can handle you telling them that you're done.
Right.
So that's basically my final thoughts.
All right, so my final thoughts are use your manners. Just gently, politely let them know, look, I'm going to the military.
I'm going to jail. I'm a missionary.
My
in the
lawyer ain't
Lord.
helping me out right now. Come up with some valuable, information instead of just
I
cutting them
decided
off.
to be a nun.
Exactly.
All righty. I'm not listening to him. I'm about to go to East Con Bowl.
Hey, that'll work for me.
Thank you for
All
having
right.
us.
Thank
so
y'all
much.
for
This was
coming
a lot
on.
of fun.
This is Candid Discussion each and every Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on RipRadioNetwork.com. Thank you.
Bye.